Looking back on my NUN experience, I feel so lucky to have received the opportunity to get out of my comfort zone and experience something extraordinary. What better way to start a new chapter of my life than in a country across the world? So on August 1st, 2013, I left home to fly 10,000 miles and 22 hours to a new beginning. Once I arrived in Melbourne and got used to the fact that I was actually in Australia, I began the life I would lead for the next 4 months. I familiarized myself with the other Northeastern students, the campus, the local grocery store, the metro system, the city, and the Aussie culture. I never could get the accent down though. I learned to live with people other than my family, do my own grocery shopping, cook my own meals, and I spent my time studying, immersing myself in the local community with service learning projects, and exploring the city and sites around it. Taking college classes with professors and classmates that had Australian accents was a big change from high school, but it was manageable and enjoyable. I especially liked Australian history, where we learned about the Aboriginals and native Australian animals. My service learning class opened my eyes to a new version of community service, where I'd be learning about issues people face and then actually getting to help them right there in Melbourne. I had the chance to volunteer for Parkinson's Victoria, a walk in the park which was designed to raise money for research for patients with Parkinson's and show support to them and their families. I also volunteered for Bicycle Network, which is an organization that advocates more bike riding and a healthier lifestyle. I helped to organize their event called Bupa Around the Bay, which was a family-friendly ride from 20 to 250 kilometers around Port Phillip Bay. In the office, I made phone calls, organized paperwork, and other things to help get ready for the event, and on that day, I handed out medals and cheered on participants at the finish line. The most rewarding part was the happy look on the riders' faces when they realized they earned a medal and seeing how many people support riding and healthier living. Working with Bicycle Network has made me want to ride more and get involved in other similar events. Volunteering with the NUN program was my first service learning experience, and I think it was a great way to get involved with the community, even if I would only be staying for a few months. On the weekends, between studying and volunteering, my friends and I found time to travel in and around Melbourne and see some incredible sights. Close to campus, we went to a few Aussie rules football games, the aquarium, the Eureka Sky Deck, St. Kilda Beach, and more. We also traveled to the Hillsville Sanctuary, where we saw kangaroos, koalas, wombats, and Tasmanian devils. Phillip Island, where we saw pelicans, hiked to the top of a cliff, and watched little penguins wash up from shore and march on the sand. The Great Ocean Road, where we drove along the coast and saw the 12 Apostles, wild koalas, and some amazing beaches. Sydney, where we stayed overnight in a hostel and saw the famous Opera House and Harbour Bridge. And for spring break, we went to Cairns in Northern Australia, where we went snorkeling and took a helicopter ride at the Great Barrier Reef, swam at gorgeous beaches, and even held a koala for 30 glorious seconds. I've seen more before the age of 18, the most I've seen in a lifetime, and by this, I've discovered that the best way to learn is to explore. My time here in Australia has been the greatest 4 months of my life. Even though the opposite seasons, sudden changes in temperature, harsh wind, weird slang words, and keeping to the left instead of the right was a little annoying at first, I've come to love those aspects of Australia and know I'm going to miss those little things when I go home. I'm glad I decided to get out of my comfort zone because I learned to take care of myself, accept other cultures, and expanded my horizons beyond my wildest dreams. I'm excited to take everything from this experience and bring it with me to Boston and anywhere I go in life, always remembering to take chances because it may just be the best thing I've ever done.
Send me in my way.